Take control of a brave firefighter as he battles to save people from towering infernos and flame-filled factories. You have a very large variety of equipment to help you with your task. The hero isn't afraid to get physical by kicking objects, climbing ropes, and jumping in order to get to all areas, but time works against you as the fires get gradually worse and you run out of breathable air. Different types of fire need to be extinguished using different methods, so you'll need to use your equipment to the best of your ability. Enlist the help of the fire engine and your fellow firefighters to extinguish all the flames you can see. Can you keep your cool and save everyone in a constantly changing environment? This is the ignition factor. Not to be confused with Fireman? I think it was called Fireman. This is by Jaleco, I don't know. January 1995, and it's a kind of an interesting little action-adventure puzzle kind of game where we control a firefighter who has to go in and fight fires and save people and stuff. It's got pretty good graphics. It's got pretty good music. It's got the writing's all right. The controls are a little goofy, I would say, but it's not too bad. After its American debut in '95, Ignition Factor received varying levels of critical response. EGM gave it Game of the Month, commenting that it's an excellent test of your wits, the graphics are impressive, and the numerous ways to solve each problem ensures a unique playthrough every time. GamePro gave it a far more mixed review, criticizing the graphics are average, the voice is annoying, and the controls are touchy. They nonetheless concluded that it's a relatively fun strategy game. Next Gen was still more critical, faulting the game chiefly for its lack of originality. At first glance, the firefighting angle promises a new gameplay experience, but the title is a repackaged version of older games like Capcom's Commando and Sega's Alien Syndrome. The action is good, but the stages are repetitive, mostly just rearrange the placements of hostages, the fire took hostages, without adding any significantly new gameplay. Next Gen reviewed it a second time, giving it 3 out of 5 stars, and stated, "It's fast and furious, but it's over fairly quick. A few more levels might have put this over the edge." Fireman is the other game where we control a firefighter. His name is Pete. He has a mustache. Should you play this? I don't know. If it's the kind of thing that you think you'd like, go for it. It's not bad. I won't call it bad, but I don't know that I'd actually call it good either. Mr. Nuts! Only he can prevent a new and permanent ice age. To help him on his way, he's got a lot of nuts, a lot of guts, and one enormous tail. It's Mr. Nuts from Ocean, developed and published, released in 1994. And you know what? Probably the best Ocean game I have ever played. No lie. But man, that title. And we're preventing an ice age? I missed that. Oh boy. This is the console version. There's an Amiga game called Mr. Nuts Hoppin' Mad, and there's a cat that is also Mr. Nuts with an S instead of a Z. Side-scrolling 2D platformer, published by Ocean, released for the Super NES in '93. It ended up going to the Mega Drive as Ocean's first Sega game, and on the Game Boy. It was released on the Sega Channel in 1995, the Game Boy Color in '99, and remade for the Game Boy Advance in 2001. We control Mr. Nuts, an anthropomorphic squirrel wearing chucks, gloves, a vest, and a cap through 6 themed levels. We have to stop Mr. Blizzard, a Yeti, who's the final boss and is trying to take over the world using his magic powers to turn it into a mass of ice. Well, I'll be damned. We can jump, swim, run, swipe things with our tail, or throw nuts. Apart from bosses, most enemies can be killed with one strike. As with many games, there are hazards. Doesn't necessarily result in death, but damage for the most part, and we get a few seconds of invincibility. SNES Force gave the game 90%, commenting the controls and graphics were to which the reviewer likened to a good children's book. Superplay gave the SNES version an 86%, and Supersonic gave it a 93%. GamePro gave it a mixed review. They praised the use of parallax scrolling and beautifully drawn backgrounds, but remarked the gameplay, despite the hidden secret levels and fairly tough challenge, isn't very interesting. SNES version won Best Platform Game in 1993 by Consoles Magazine. And you know what? It really isn't all that terrible. I mentioned that it's probably the best Ocean game I've ever played, and I think I could stick by that. It does play really well, and it looks really good. The music I didn't love, but no, it's just a good, solid platform game. Ocean should be doing stuff like this instead of terrible movie tie-ins, which we'll get to in a little while.